Hello, good morning again, and welcome back. Now, what I want to look at this morning is types of electrical systems C. Now, you would have noticed that we have had A, B, C, and I believe there's a D and an E to come yet. But each part of these systems is different. They serve a different purpose and a different section of our electrical engineering area of work. Okay? Okay. And again, your main structure is installation buildings and structures. Okay, that is your main core. That's the course that you would be doing. Okay, so please bear that in mind. Identify the different types of electrical installation and systems. Okay, you should be familiar with that by now. Here we are just recapping. Okay, so this is just our recap session. Emergency lighting, fire alarms. There are two types of smoke detectors, well, and more, as you would have seen from my video, so we know there's more than two types. Okay, again, emergency service cables, etc, etc, etc. Okay, I'm just moving close so you can read it for yourselves. Okay, I don't want anyone saying that they cannot read it or zoom in on it. Okay, just gonna make sure I go back. Okay, here. Okay. At the end of this session, you should be able to know how data systems work, become familiar with cables used in networks and CCTV and control systems. Okay. Now, a typical domestic network. Networks are used at home to reduce the number of printers and to provide all users with access to the internet. Modem PCs have network, etc., and you should all be familiar with this by now, so I don't need to run through this. Here's your RJ45 connector cables, okay? But most of us are now going wireless, I must admit, okay? So we're not looking too much on the cable system now, we're going basically wireless. Okay. And again, here we have types of network, types of networking cable. There are 5 main types of cable available for data networking: unshielded twisted pair, shielded twisted pair, etc., screen twisted pair, coaxial, and fiber optics. And again, allow a factor of possibility for new cabling system to come online as we become more spacious and inventive. Now here we have the unshielded twisted pair, UTP cable. Twisted wire is cheap to buy and install. UTP came into use in LANs, local area networks, with the introduction of Ethernet. Ethernet allowed many different devices to connect to the network and is a communication system that enables data to be managed without crashing the system. Okay. Okay. Now here we have the categories on Shield Twitter Pair UTP cable system. There are a number of types of UTP. They are split into categories defined by the amount of data they can carry. Category 1 usually supplies frequencies less than 1 megahertz and are used for are used for phone lines. Category 2 support frequencies up to 4 megahertz and is not usually installed. Now I'm now thinking of the something little here, which is 5th generation 5, or I'm probably thinking of something else at this point in time. Never mind, let's get back to this. Category 2 supports frequencies up to 4 megahertz and is not usually installed. My question here is why? Category 3 supports frequencies up to 16 megahertz and was common in the 80s. Category 4 supports frequencies up to 20 megahertz but was quickly replaced by Category 5. Category 5 supports frequencies up to 100 megahertz and is the most popular type of cable used today. Now remember, this is at this point in time. We're now moving to 5th generation transmission cable 5G, so I would like to keep that in mind. So let me do a little bit of work at the end as well to see whether or not I can bring some new data into shape. Sorry about that noise, that's outside. I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid. I think it's the workmen doing some work. I hope they don't strain themselves anyway. Alright, connecting UTP cable. Loose connections or the wrong type of connector will lead to errors once the system is running. To get the best from the UTP connection, when connecting to plugs and sockets, never untwist more than 12 millimeters of Category 5 cable. Always use connectors, wall outlets and panels that are compatible with the cable used. Terminate all 4 pairs so that the system has an element of future proofing built in. It should be run away from power circuits where electromagnetic interference can affect the signals. Okay. Shield the twisted pair. Okay. Overall shield. Okay. Okay. Shield twisted pair cabling can carry a wider range of frequencies than UTP and is less affected by external electromagnetic sources. Okay. And so let's just make sure that you can see this for yourselves. Okay. Okay. The guaranteed minimum electromagnetic interference from other sources, the STP cable must have the shield electrical continuous for the whole length. All components must be shielded so no mixing of UTP and STP. The shield must enclose both the twisted pair and the core. The shield must be earthed at each end. Okay. That eliminates any interference or any electromagnetic buildup that might occur at given points in time. Like if you remember something we did a little earlier in regards to eddy currents. Okay. Now here we have screen twisted pair. Let me just go in a little bit, make sure we can. Okay, yeah, pull back. Okay. Right there. Okay. Screen twisted pair STP cable. That this cable is an combination of UTP and STP. The foil shield is earth and surrounds all 4 pairs of twisted cable. Okay. And here we have coaxial cable, which everyone is more familiar with. Your television, of course. This is the most commonly used cable for networking. It is more expensive than UTP, STP, and is more difficult to run. It can, however, handle large amounts of data and is less susceptible to electromagnetic interference. Okay. 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 Fiber optics, which is now becoming quite common. Okay. Which was mainly quite expensive before. All the cables we have looked at so far are made of copper and carry an electric current. Fiber optic cable is made of glass and the signal is carried by light. A light source, usually a laser, sends a signal down a very thin length of glass. The light source flashes on and off in the pattern of an electrical signal, which allows you to transmit it down the fiber optics. Okay. Let me just pan back a bit and let me just go down so we can get this bottom bit in. Okay. Advantages, etc. and disadvantages. Okay. Just go up. Get back into focus. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Now I hope you found this useful. What I want to do, let me just do a little bit of addition to this, so we can make sure that we're looking at it from today's perspective as well, not just yesterday's perspective. Okay. Let me just see what I can find on fiber optics. Bear with me for a second. Just bear with me for a second. Let me just close them down. Fiber optics. And then let me just go to fiber optics. Let me look at this here. Okay, all I want to do is to see what it gives me. If anything, it may not be of any use, but let me just look at it anyway, see what we can come up with. Anything? Okay, structured cabling. We appreciate that in today's modern business world, network integrity is critical, and the key to this is a solid foundation at the physical layer. Fiber optic cabling. Okay. Okay, alright. It's just giving me anything. Let me see if I can find anything else on here. Wait for a second. All I'm going to do is I'm just browsing, so it gives you an idea as to what we can look at and see. Okay. Here we have a variety of fiber optic cables and prices. Okay, basically. and that is just to show you what is available on the market. Okay, and let's look at this one here. So the structure of this here. Strength, member, cladding, okay, so forth, and it shows you here how it is actually put together and how the glass is protected, the core. Okay, and here's your and again we have quite some good pictures here. Actually, I'm quite pleased about this that we have here. Okay, we got quite a few here, so I'm just going to bring them up. Now this is for you to look for yourself. Okay, additionally because you guys are tech savvy, so okay, let me just bring this up a little bit for you. Okay, can I bring them up further, larger? Okay, and it's just showing us here what the fibers are looking like. Okay, I was hoping I could zoom in actually, but it doesn't give me any option to zoom in. But you get the idea there. Okay, you get the idea. It's very interesting, and the variety of stuff that we can do is tremendous. Okay, and I'm quite pleased about the information that I'm able to gather actually myself from the internet, which I'm hoping will make your videos a little bit more varied and interesting. Okay, that'll be for now. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.